Alright, guys. Hold on, let me see if we're... Did we make it live here? Hey, White Lightning. I think we did. I'm just trying to... Alright. Got a bunch of new stuff in here now. I want to see if it's actually going to work. Hold on, I got to change this setting a little bit. We will get all this stuff working properly, guys. Oh, it's keeping the count. So we got that one working. Hold on, let me move my video a little bit here. Didn't even catch that earlier. Okay. Wolverine's in. I see FBI Agent Galaxy Gamer DJ Games. I apologize for not catching these at the beginning. I'm just trying to get everything set up here, guys, with the new shit we got going. Okay. So far, okay, so it is updating the number of people in here. I'm just messing around with different layouts and stuff. The one thing I haven't been able to figure out so far is there is a widget for doing polls, and I think that would come in handy for our types of streams a lot. So I'm gonna figure that one out at sometime really soon. My favorite non-favorite streaming software, Lex says. Wait, you're confusing me. Play Big Chungus song? Why would we be playing a song, Zachy? And Edgar says, so it begins. Now let's make. Oh, you know what? I want to have my headphones on too because I want to hear the sound effects. I still haven't put speakers on the computer yet. Because Edgar put up a super chat. I just want to make sure that's working again as well. Come on. DJ Game, I can't believe that 800,000 kids were kidnapped in the following year because the Illuminati sacrificed their body parts.
Oh, yeah.
I hadn't heard about that one, DJ Games. Why? Edgar V. Donate. Oh, it didn't change. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I had changed the GIF on. Let me see if I made the change on my dashboard on that. Just to mix it up for you guys on the super chat donations. Let me check. Let me see what it did here. I'm on another page. I'll be right back to it, guys. It was super chats. Oh, it did. It didn't hold the change. What the hell? Let me try it again. Oh, I probably didn't push save settings, huh? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. Now let me see what... hold on. And Dark Slifer. Okay, Dark Slifer got that one. We'll see the next one. Let's see if that changes or not. I'm going to keep all those and rotate them in, but I'm a nerd for that stuff. I like mixing it up a little bit. Can't stay heading to a date. Rep Universe 27 sucks. I gotcha. Took me a second, Lifer. That should be Lude. Lude asks, what's the number next to the YouTube symbol for? That should be how many viewers we have. These are all just different widgets I'm trying out, and we'll keep the ones we like. We'll ditch the ones we don't. I think it's fun having the viewer count up there, but just so everybody can see. Oh, our savior's at work. I understand. Thanks for being in while you could. My future sister-in-law, Poppy Black, says, future-in-laws do this weekend. Oh, do this weekend. I'm so excited to meet the other 9 bridesmaids. That's cool. Now I'm watching. I will say this. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Don't let me forget, guys, that this thing, the only downside to this, it puts top chat on by default instead of live chat. So I was missing, like, I saw Barry's over here, but not over here. Hey, Curtis, a gypsy offered me $20 for my official Spazwise Comedy Sticky Stuff fanny pack. Joke's on him. Gave him the knockoff and some of Hitler's sticky stuff. And I got the $20 worth of Jackass. Yeah, that's why we produce those. We have those knockoff ones produced by in sweatshops in the Philippines, so that, you know, we can do that for just those such. That's just wrong. Dragon says, what is your first time playing football and your first time having sex have in common? You were bloody and battered, but at least your dad came. Oh. Oh, jeez, Dragon. Yikes. Oh, and Edgar, that wildly offensive joke is going to knock into your lead. That's what's sad.
Oh, yeah.
Renee Martinez says how to fix Rocky franchise. Get rid of Rocky 5. You don't like Rocky 5? I got. Isn't it terrible? I got to remember them. Oh, that was the relatively current one right before Rocky Balboa. You know, yeah, it was okay. I didn't mind it. I mean, yeah, sweatshops in the Philippines. Yeah, but for the topic of the day, now again, as always, we can talk about whatever you guys want. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think, does you guys here believe that time travel is a possibility at any level? At any level. I don't mean even necessarily human beings time traveling as of right now, but do you think the option for some sort of matter to change its position in a timeline is possible? Big Green says no, don't think so. Into the future, yes. Into the past, no. That's kind of where I'm at too, Tom. That's kind of where I'm at too. Into the future, yes. In the past, no. It seems like they've got a lot of avenues that make sense into the future, doesn't it? When I read up on the eggheads who actually understand this shit, and I follow as much of it as I can. It's a fun thought, but I doubt it. Yeah, Alex, and even then, when they talk about time traveling into the future again, I guess that's a big part of the holdup is they don't think they could move large amounts of matter, which a human would be a large amount of matter. Curtis asking this because of Steins Gate for sure. Well, actually, Chunk Boy, we've had these conversations before, and I really enjoy them. But I do like the way Steins Gate. I like the way Steins Gate portrays the whole time travel element. Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, but it won't be useful. Mr. King in Negativity says if you're consistent with how time works, going back in time would affect you as well, making you younger. Yeah, well, that's the ultimate one of the ultimate conundrums of it, isn't it, Mr. King? Is okay. If you can go back in time and you're going to affect the future, you're affecting the now. So, time traveling forward is really just someone from the past traveling to the present, Jake says. Yeah. But the thing, too, is, being an old fart, do you know how many things that we have now and we take for granted were absolute? If we would have had this conversation, of course we wouldn't have had it on the internet when I was a kid, but if we'd have had this conversation when I was younger, and you'd ask the same question about cell phones, are they possible? People would have gone, nah. Particularly for instance, like video chatting through your cell phone. People would say no. They would have said that's Dick Tracy sci-fi. So when you think about, Steve says the Suplex City bitch. When you think about how the ridiculous leaps in technology we've made, and that doesn't leaps in technology facilitate further leaps in technology because the technology itself helps you to achieve greater heights. Is anything off the table? Unless we're willing to say that time travel is just the physics of our universe will not allow for time travel. If that's what we're saying, that's different. Are we in the past, present, or future? Daniel says, no, my head's starting to hurt. Mr. Badland says, we're always looking at the past whenever we see the sun. True. We're looking 8 minutes in the past. Whenever we look into the distant stars, we see millions, if not billions, of light years in the past. True. That's a good point, Mr. Badlands, because by the what he's saying, of course, is by the time the visuals of the sun reach us, what we're seeing. So in other words, if the sun burnt out, we'd have an 8-minute delay before we all went, oh, God damn it. It's going to get cold. Going into the future is very possible, Tom says. Going into the past is borderline impossible. I would, with my limited knowledge, I would agree with you, Tom, but this is the big question. Is it honestly impossible to do, or is it impossible with our current understanding of the physical nature of the cosmos? I agree with that, Cthulhu. I don't know about if we're doomed or not, but eventually technology will make its own leaps. Yes, I completely agree with that. I think that's why we're that's why the options out there, or the possibilities, are endless, because the leaps we're making technologically are just going to, as I said, facilitate further and further leaps. Yeah, I did. Curtis, you hear about the story about Mob Psycho 100 trending #1 yesterday? Yeah, it was because people were talking about mobs, meaning the riots and stuff. And of course, when you searched it, good old mob came up. MOBA. Okay, Dragon says theoretically yes, but oh wait, and Dragon's going to supplant Edgar too, I think. Theoretically yes, but past travel would require the use of wormholes, and future travel would require moving near the speed of light. Both very difficult. Right, and isn't that? And again, a lot of you guys, Dragon just took over. A lot of you guys are way more advanced on this than am I. So I'm asking you, isn't it the use of wormholes, what I understand to be science's limited understanding of that, is where I come up with what I've gathered from them is, with wormholes, they think it would only be possible to move just tiny, tiny, minuscule bits of matter through time, if at all. Is that correct? Is that about what they're thinking anyway? Oh, I'm gonna check too. Okay, and this is working too. I just like to have a little something here that recognize you guys when, super chats and stuff like that. So that is working too. I'm just trying to watch everything, see if it's everything seems to be working. This is a decent setup this way. Windows XP, Poppy says. Technology potential is higher than Gohan's potential, Ian says. Zeno says, well, as it stands, the concept of time travel is really not jumping from the present to the future, but fast forwarding in a manner that doesn't have you aging, right? Yeah, right? I think so. I think that's a good description, right, Zeno? Isn't Zeno's right with that, yeah? I love conversations like this. And I always, I will always tell you guys honestly how well versed I am in a topic. This is something I've read up on, but I'll guarantee you a lot of you guys are deeper in knowledge than am I. Deeper. So this is one of the reasons I enjoy talking about this. Zaki says, what if you traveled to Earth before the Earth was populated? Well, yeah, if we start to allow, Zaki, that if we were to say, okay, there is going to be a point where you can have the classic movie style cool time machine where you get in and you go back to wherever you want. I mean, wouldn't it be, you could eventually, couldn't you theoretically go back and somehow stop the progression of mankind, right? I don't. Could you take an act that big? Could you find the place in the Darwin chart there where you could just cut shit off? I don't know. Jake says technically astronauts are traveling faster into the future than we are. It's just so small we don't notice the difference. I read something about it on that, Jake. I'd forgotten about that one. That's right. I had read about that. That it's just a minuscule jump. Yeah. Downward says, previous post, please? Okay, hold on. Let me see. Where was Downwards? Hold on a second, guys. Let me.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you, Downwards? I can't find you. Oh, there he is. Dollars. My girlfriend called me retarded when she found out how much I spent trying to keep the peasants out of power.
Yeah.
Being the righteous ruler that I am, I shall allow the rabble to rule themselves. Okay, Doward. You could ask her, was the R word really necessary? Dragon says, wormholes are very small, and there's currently no way of expanding them to be able to fit a person. That's what I thought, Dragon. I thought that's basically what I had read. But again, they get science. Me and science don't always get along all that well. and they get over my head with the articles I read and stuff. But that's basically what I had understood to be the case. Brother E says, I would say time travel is predominantly more possible when you're traveling forward in time. Seems so. As scientists expressed, other planets experience different time patterns that slow or fasten time on Earth. So I'm just trying to. It's one of those things I know you guys don't. You guys don't come to hang out in the live streams with me to watch me think, but I'm trying to absorb the information as you guys give it to me. So at what point? There's got to be a point where within a spacecraft or whatever, you could move fast enough to where your time is on an entirely different playing field than Earth's time, right? So you could come back to Earth. Am I correct in this? Theoretically, you could come back to Earth and not have aged as much as Earth had, which would basically put you into the future. Money on My Mind says, what if you could go too far ahead and end up in the beginning like a cycle on repeat? P.S. The only wormhole I've done research on has been on Pornhub. Hey, we're probably on there at the same time doing research.
Oh, yeah.
Too far ahead and end up at the beginning. Wouldn't that be? Oh man, that would screw up everything. If time was honestly circular, that would really fuck things up. Oh, Dragon. Oh, Dragon just took over to his boss. What's black at the top of the staircase? Stephen Hawking after a house fire. Yeah. Oh. Cthulhu says, imagine a wormhole opening inside a human and an alien parasite emerging. That'd be kind of like Sigourney Weaver. Alien. Out of the gut there. That'd be cool. Steve says, if another species traveled to the Earth's past and changed the timeline to where you weren't born, would you just evaporate in the present? How would that work? That's interesting too. Like, and even beyond that specific element, that brings up: is it possible that other beings would have the abilities to invade our timelines at different points along the timeline? Yeah, and what would happen? Okay, so say I get what Steve's saying. Say that that alien is just arriving at our past now.
Oh, yeah.
And again, eliminates me from ever having existed. So you could say it would just evaporate me, but how would that? Okay, so I bought this house. You assume if my wife and I didn't end up together, this is not the house that she would have purchased. We would have purchased together, anything like that. So what would happen here in real time? The stream would die. Ah, I don't. Okay, alien. Don't axe my existence, because who's gonna host the stream? Spazka's at college. You can't do it. Oh no, he's gone too. Oh shit. Philip says, as an amateur historian, I'm a big believer in multiverse theory. The idea of even a slight change in history causing a sort of butterfly effect and creating an alternate universe is just intriguing. Could not agree more. It's fascinating. It's that goes back to, with watching Steins Gate now, I really, really like that concept of the jumping from timeline to timeline. I think that's just absolutely crazy. Edgar V says, like some Dragon Ball Heroes time travel. Yeah. I mean, again, we just even thinking about it, talking about it, thinking about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's fascinating stuff, and I think well, Susan will kill the stream before the aliens. True, Chrome. Susan is the all-powerful. No amount of time, space, anything, is more powerful than Susan. Oink says, there was a point in early human history when we almost went extinct. There were only a couple thousand humans around, so you could probably stop humanity from existing. Good point, Oink. And then if you do that at that time, say you went in, like Oink says, there's only a couple thousand humans existing. You went in and you took all of them out. So then what happens? Does humanity still evolve? It just takes longer? I think a lot of this, I touched on this earlier. I think a lot of this is really fascinating to me, and I think all options remain on the table to me only because, again, in my lifetime, I've seen so many things achieved that we thought were impossible. That, I mean, legitimately, you have to understand, when I was a kid, again, having a video conversation on a phone that you hold in your hand was stuff that it was pure science fiction. We never thought it would ever actually happen. The same way we sit
Oh,
here now and talk about
yeah.
time travel and say, well, that can't happen. Now, I'm absolutely granting it. One is, by the physical nature of the universe, way more possible than the other. But as far as our brain comprehending it, it was an absolute impossibility, and now it's an everyday event. Michael makes a good point. Let's raid Area 51. We need the truth, Doc. Yeah. You wonder too. That's a whole conversation we'll do on another stream. Is I like conjecturing about what exactly does the government know about alien life. That's one for another time. We'll do that one, Michael. Barry says theoretically time travel already exists and we have yet to discover it. Aliens could already have it in another world, and they've yet to come to Earth and show us and how to develop it ourselves. I think that's a possibility. Again, really, as I've said in the past, it would be the ultimate in arrogance to believe that we are alone in the cosmos. And if you're given that there almost has to be, just playing the numbers game, there has to be other intelligent life forms out there. Who's to say how advanced they are? And who's to say what type of physical nature of being they live within? Talking in deep about multiverse theory just sounds like some sci-fi bullshit. Well, it does, Lex. But again, and again, I think that's why it is so fascinating to me. A lot of the things we take for granted today that we have were, when I was a kid, were absolute sci-fi bullshit. We didn't even think of them as a possibility. Even something as simple as a fax. I mean, the idea when I was a kid, I'm pointing to it because I got my printer fax over here, or print and copier over here. Putting a piece of paper into that machine and pushing a button and having that disseminated and then
Oh, yeah.
recomposed anywhere around the world in moments, we would have said, no, that's not only not, it's an impossibility. We would have said it's not only something we're not looking to do, it's something that is ridiculous and you couldn't do it. Downward says previous post. Let's see, where were we? Downward says one theory is that inside every black hole is another universe. And inside every black hole within those universes are more universes, and it never ends. What if each of those is an alternate timeline? Whoa. Yeah, because we don't. Okay, who here? That's something that's fascinating to me too. Who? Okay, and obviously Downward is one of you that's going to answer yes to this. Who here has done a fascination with or done a lot of research on black holes? Because that's fascinating to me. We don't really know anything about black holes, do we? Any real knowledge to speak? I mean, other than their extreme density and stuff like that, do we have any understanding of what actually goes on inside of a black hole? Or because again, I don't know. That's an honest question. Oink says, "Well, yeah, there certainly isn't any intelligent life here, so yeah, it's probably in space." Yeah, it's cool to think about. Yeah, yes. I haven't researched, but they're interesting. Oh, they're fascinating, Lex. Really fascinating. Black holes are a mystery, so they're interesting. I just wonder how much I've entered a female black hole before. Steve says, yeah, so have I a long time ago, bro. uh, Money on My Mind said, usually if there's an entrance, there's an exit. But I wonder, as people, though, Money on My Mind, and again, this is a question because I don't know. As humans, we wouldn't be able to go into a black hole, would we? Wouldn't we be crushed? Just obliterated? Or am I wrong on that? Jack Queen says, I've done a lot. If you look out of a black hole, you're supposed to be able to see the whole universe, including the back of your own head. It bends space-time. Jesus Christ, that's freaky. Oh, my name and mine took over. That's that's that hurt my head a little bit. Cheyenne. Cheyenne says the main black holes I know of are the hunks of black mold in our dorms. Go Georgetown. That's good, Cheyenne. I like that. Dragon says the only black holes I've done research on are the ones that involve going to special websites. Well, that's, again, Dragon, we're fellow researchers on that, so that I understand.
Oh, yeah.
Steve says, I'm sure I watched before on documentary you die even before you got to the middle because you're contorted. That sounds like, and that sounds like the outcome that, just based on what Jack Queen said, right? Yeah, it would distort things so much, like you said, you'd be able to see the back of your own head. And so how could humans go about even learning about what's inside a black hole? If we can't go in there without being obliterated, we can't physically enter a black hole without being obliterated. How do we go about learning more about them? I mean, we got to have some sort of tech that could survive in the black hole and send us back information. Lick says, close to the Vendor black hole is my pimp. The Ninja Genko says, check my pic, tell me what you think. I'll try, pal. It's just small enough on my screen. I can't see the pics good. I can't quite. And it used to be I could click you guys' screen names here, and it would take me to your page at YouTube where it would blow up the picture so I could see it, and now it doesn't. I can't quite make it out. It looks. It's just small enough to Ninja Genko. It looks like a shot of the sky and something going on in the sky, but I can't really make it out. I wish there was a way. See, even when I click the drop down, come on. Well, the drop down's not working. That's great. I was gonna say I can't go can't get a link to your channel so I can go see the picture at least a little bigger. Chrome says, observe the effects of a black hole. You can extrapolate from surrounding info. Mr. Badland says scientists call it spaghettification, when the black hole turns you into spaghetti. Yeah, oh man, that's fascinating shit to me. So now, and we're going back to some Steins Gate here. So isn't part of what goes on at CERN, the real CERN, CERN, aren't what they're doing there with their Large Hadron Collider, theoretically, wouldn't they be able to create a black hole? Isn't that part of what they're looking to do, or no? Am I wrong about that? Jake says, either there are other intelligent life forms out there, or we are the first, in which case we are doomed and our alien successors will learn from our mistakes. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, we could go into a whole different conversation here, but because of the rapid advancement of technology, you would think that in and of itself and our irresponsibility as humans is probably going to and is in the process of bringing about our own demise. Wouldn't you guys agree? Oh, Ninja Genko says dark energy. See, that stuff is so above my head and so fascinating to me. Brother, he says, to be honest, I already believe we have achieved time travel. Can we go back to where I could speak? And just only very few are aware of such technology. Just on events being predicted prior entails that some people know more than they should. You think so, Brother E? I don't know. I've never been impressed enough with future predictions to believe that myself. I mean, some typically, and this is just off the top of my head, typically when I see some quote unquote impressive predictions of the future, it's usually been in a package wrapped up to where somebody made tons and tons of predictions, and hey, you know what? I threw enough darts that some of them hit the mark. Jack Queen says smallest building blocks of matter are all matter except dark matter is made of molecules, which are themselves made of. Oh shit! It dropped up on me, Jack. Which are themselves made of atoms. Inside the atoms are electrons spinning around the nucleus. All matter except dark matter is made of molecules. So then dark matter, what do we know?
Oh,
We've never actually observed it, have we? Tui says, just got notification. What's going on? Oh, we're going deep today, Tui. We're going deep. That's what she said, and then she was disappointed. We're talking about time travel, parallel universes, all that crazy shit. Excuse me. Evian says, Curtis, bad news that my dog just got out. Oh, I've been there. And I was taking in the groceries. But the good news is that the Kroger delivery guy told me and wasn't really being rude, so kudos to Kroger for kindness. That's cool. Kappa says, if you created a time machine just to kill a guy, he would have been dead, so would you have created the time machine in the future? Yeah, you would have to have created it in the future, right? It's a mind bender. Forgot quarks? Empty Knight says. Let's see. Parallel universe comic books are awesome for that. The Ninja Genko says. Fucking train. Oh, I know, Dylan. Fucking trains are just. See, you guys have gotten me really, really wrapped up into this conversation because even the train didn't wasn't able to separate me from trying to wrap my brain around just some of this. Jeff says, working with dark matter, you better bring a flashlight. Mr. Badland says, going back in time to kill your grandpa will be a pretty awkward way to find out you're adopted. Yeah, it would. That would actually suck. Support Gaming 2020 says time travel could never be possible because we would have had proof by now, such as time travelers coming from the future coming to our present. Right, so there's but the thing of it is though, Support Gaming, isn't it like a circular conundrum there, because what if we haven't reached the point in our advancement yet where we did that time travel? And so everything we're experiencing now is the result of that future time travel, right? Because couldn't we be living a timeline now that was not initially this way, just none of us are aware of it? Maybe we were obliterated at one point. Who knows? Lick says all these protests across the U.S. Why are they so obsessed with dark matter? Well, that's what when I get the other streams up and running, and I will let you guys know it'll be soon. The ones that we're going to do at Crowdcast, we're going to be able to talk about a lot of that stuff that Susan gets nervous about here. We're going to talk about the protests. We're going to talk about what I think is going to be the biggest the biggest riot violence we've seen yet, and I think it's unfortunately inevitable. We're going to talk about what we think are going to be the repercussions of the presidential election both ways, if Biden wins, if Trump wins. But it's all stuff that if we talk about here, we run the risk of just getting the whole stream deleted and Susan taking action against our ability to stream.
Yeah.
Cheyenne! Cheyenne's the stream boss. Time travelers are already here. I have class with them. They don't do readings, but act like they know everything anyway. They got to have future knowledge. Yeah, I could see that, Cheyenne, especially in college right now. I can see where, because there's so many of the college age generation that think they have everything all figured out, that yes, I could see that. Fuck off, Train. That time I did hear you. Money in my mind says Mandela effect, anyone. Yeah. Yeah, it's oh, god damn, that's fascinating shit. It really is money on my mind. Lute says, oh god, she's the boss. Lord help us all. Cheyenne is the stream boss.
Oh, yeah.
Money in my mind already cut into her reign. Jake says, the trippiest time travel TV show I've seen is a German Netflix series called Dark. Watching a video of someone doing a timeline in chronological order made it more confusing. Yikes. I'm fascinated with that stuff. And again, that's why Steins Gate is so much fun for me now, because I've always had a fascination with all of this. Willie says, if multiverse theories is correct, which I think it is, then hopping from universe to universe is a form of time travel. Gotcha. Also, imagine if SJW's got time travel instead of us. Oh, that would be bad, Willie. That would be very, very bad. That multiverse theory, that is, to me, okay, which do you, and again, you guys are, the majority of you are more well-versed on this than me, which do you guys think is more likely, multiverse theory or time travel in and of itself, just strict time travel within our timeline? I would think multiverse theory, no? Wouldn't that, and again, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I think that is a much more believable possibility within our cosmos, no? Philip says, someone put forward the idea of traveling back in time and becoming your own ancestor.
Oh,
My plan to avoid such a thing is to
yeah.
avoid Ireland, Scotland, and girls named Mary O'Neill. oh, Philip, can you imagine? Yeah, becoming your own ancestor. That's Alabama-ish. That's really Alabama-ish. Multiverse by far, multiverse slightly, multiverse. Patrick thinks they're both legit. Multiverse theory easy. We can't bend space. That was my thought. It seemed like multiverse theory. And again, with my limited knowledge, it just seems like you could make a stronger case for that. Because I've said all along, it would be arrogant to believe that we are the only case of any type of advanced civilization in, again, what we know as the cosmos. Would it be also arrogant to believe we are the only universe? We're the only timeline going right now? Arthur says, I can't afford super chats today. No, I understand, my friend. I put together all my thoughts in a Patreon message. Can you read it? I tried to keep it short. I try not to go away. Okay, too much from the stream. We can go over and take a quick peek. Oh no, Cheyenne's almost kicked out of the boss spot. You guys, actual scientist here, Dr. Philogen. I'm going to put you on hold for just a second. I want to read what you wrote. Let me go check Arthur's post real quick. I got to open a different tab. Let me check that real quick. Yeah, all of it is just, and as I had touched upon, I wonder too, we've got to have a separate conversation about whether or not we think that that we have been visited by aliens or time travelers. Gold Arthur says, I believe that human life, or life in general with humanity spearheading its evolution, is the consciousness of the universe. We analyze things, create morals, and theorize on the meaning of the universe. We are what gives the universe purpose through emotional art rather than it just being a plane of pure logical processes. I believe it is our purpose to evolve to technological beings, energy beings, information beings, and obtain all that the universe has to offer. When we reach that point, either we will have determined that there's nothing left and put an end to it, determine that we went about it wrong and restart the cycle, or come to some sort of conclusion and act on that. I also think along the way we will develop a technological or energy mainframe in which people will be able to enter and live out countless lives with or without their prior memories decided before starting each life,
Oh,
and any presets or conditions, and will
yeah.
continually go through these until we are so satisfied that it will eliminate the possibility of dying in despair. Sort of like a voluntary, better, infinite Tsukuyomi for anyone that isn't interested in the evolution process. I don't think, unfortunately, currently, we can survive as a species long enough to accomplish that. And again, I don't want to be the Mr. Gloom and Doom. I don't think we will. I see where we're headed right now, and I don't think it bodes well for our eventual survival. Now Dr. Villager says, who's chat box now? Oh, Tui is. Um, Actual scientist here. Multiverse is probably real, but not in the way you people imagine. Time travel is theoretically completely impossible. It can never exist. So, Dr. Villager, so what you're saying is our knowledge of the physical being of the cosmos, is it complete enough to call something completely impossible? I'm not calling you out. I'm genuinely asking the question. It Because when you say something is completely impossible, doesn't that have to suggest a pretty solid knowledge of all physics? If I'm making any sense of what I'm saying. Again, I'm not saying you're wrong. That's a real question. Oh, this is how Tui became boss. If you time traveled, wouldn't you have created a new reality where you don't need to do that? And with multiverse travel, I think most things really exist with some exceptions. You would, when you have created a new reality, yeah, where you don't need to do that. That's like that's the circular logic of it all, isn't it, Tui? Is once you've time traveled, you don't need to time travel because you've done what you. I don't know. Oh man, God damn, this is good shit. Mr. Badland says, "What if aliens are just time travelers coming from the future, and the government keeps them all hidden to not cause the butterfly effect?" Yeah, that would go along with what we're talking about too, Mr. Badlands. For a future stream, let's talk about what we believe the government does know. Interesting. Okay, Dr. Villager, because I did ask him a question. I want to see his answer. It is impossible because in order, for example, to time travel to the future, you need to travel faster than the speed of light. That's why it's impossible. But, okay, and I understand what you're saying, Dr. Villager, but why is travel faster than the speed of light impossible? I don't know. I mean, why is that something that physically we would not be able to accomplish? Brother E says, can we say that the reason dark matter is immeasurable is because it's an infinite component? Since hold on, I lost you. Since black holes are made from dark matter and they too are perceived as never ending. Yeah, yeah. If something is, as you said, if something is infinite, it is by nature immeasurable. So yeah. Dollar says, I'm a slow typer, so the chats are kind of spaced out. That's fine. But I wrote a 3-part chat of what could happen if you fell into a black hole. Starts right after Phil's $10 super chat. Okay, let me look, Dalward. Right after Phil's $10 super chat. Oh, hopefully, I've still got that, don't I? I hope I didn't scroll too far to where I can't see it. That's the only thing oh, there it is. Nope, got it right there.
Oh, yeah.
Tui took a hit. All right, let me look for downwards. Okay, the bigger the black hole, the less intense the tidal forces are at the event horizon. If you had one the size of a solar system, you'd be able to maintain structural integrity and witness the. Okay, this is interesting. Yeah, you obviously got a way better handle on this than me. Let me see where downwards next post is. curvature of space-time. As you fall into the black hole, you'd approach the speed of light. I'm just reading this slow because I'm trying to absorb it. You'd approach the speed of light, and the faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. If you could look in front of you, this is fascinating shit, you'd see everything that had ever fallen into the black hole, and if you look back, you'd see everything that would ever fall in behind you. If nothing else, thou Lord, that series of posts just made me unable to sleep tonight. So if nothing else, you give me insomnia, because I'm just going to be sitting in my bed tonight going, God damn it, what's behind me? Yeah. God, oh, man. This is fun shit. I seriously, I love this stuff. Neon says, what are your theories about black holes? Oh, I have none. That's why I rely on you guys. I don't. One thing I have learned in life is when you try and discuss something as and present yourself as an authority on it when you are not, you just end up looking really stupid. So I never do that. And I have a little bit of knowledge from what I've read, but I'm not enough of an authority to have my own theory. Another possibility would be to move a ship rapidly around a black hole, or to artificially create that condition with a huge rotating structure. Is that more like Neon Cyan? That's more like what's going on at CERN, correct? Am I right in that? Is that basically what they're trying to accomplish? Jack Queen says black holes are only a small part black matter, 1/10 of a millimeter. Whew, this is fascinating shit. Dr. Villager says that's a bit too long explanation for a chat message. That I understand. Yeah, that's the only thing when we're getting into stuff like this. Now, see, this type of thing too, we might have this conversation again when we start up the Crowdcast streams, because there, with a click of a button, I can put you on the stream with me. You don't even have to be video. It can be just voice or just video. So like here with Dr. Villager, if we want to hear a more detailed explanation, I can just put you on the stream and you can do it rather than have to type it all out. That's a lecture. In short, it would not make sense. An object traveling faster than light would become infinitely hot equals MC squared. Yeah, see, I wish we were using that streaming process, Dr. Villager. If you were willing, you could come on and explain it so you didn't have to type it. I got to get those streams set up. You know what I should do too? Because I'm getting closer to that. I forgot to call it. Let me give you guys the link address where you can go get signed up to be notified at Crowdcast when we do the stream. It's all free and everything. I don't want to seem like I'm trying to sell you something. It's just so you'll get notified. I still got some work to do to get set up for them, but I want to have as many of you guys with me there as possible. Here it comes. This is the that's where we're going to do the Crowdcast streams. And again, those are real time and a lot more features where I can just bring you guys on to the stream with me. Sure, I'd love to. Oh, that'd be cool, Dr. Villager. That's it right there. If you guys don't mind, just, again, it doesn't get you spammed or anything. Just sign up and you'll just get notified when we stream there. But I will, when I'm going to stream there, I will put out a message on YouTube. Whether Susan notifies you guys of the message or not, I can't tell you. But I will put out a message on YouTube and at the Goose. Chrome says, Curtis, traveling faster than the speed of light would break the laws of physics, but bending space around you to reach a certain point faster than the speed of light is plausible. Black holes do, I think. Yeah. I'm having a nerd rod right here. I'm having a nerd boner. See, this is why I enjoy you guys so much, because again, there's so many of you have a deeper understanding of this than do I. And I like not only learning, but also just trying to wrap my brain around some of what you're telling me. Steve says, if we ever want to reach the end of the universe, we need to build something that will go faster than 44.7 miles per second per megaparsec. 1 megaparsec is about 3.26 million light years. Holy shit, that's even faster than I am in bed. So that's moving. Huh. Excuse me, guys. Dollar says, sorry guys, the character limit wouldn't allow me a one post explanation on it. Oh, Dollar, that was a really good I like that. I like that explanation, that black hole explanation. It was very, at least in my tiny little mind, it was very, very vivid. Rick says, man, I sure do love the wonders of modern technology. I love these conversations. But again, once I get that crowdcast thing set up, we'll be having a lot of conversations like this, and the ones that are even more controversial because we can't have them here. Nacho says, it's all fun and games until you think you understand quantum mechanics. Since the more you learn about it, you realize it's impossible to do so.
Oh,
That's where I'm at, Nacho.
yeah.
Like I say, that's why I'm right up front with you guys all the time. My knowledge on this subject is comprised of what I can read and watch from other people way smarter than me, and the limited amount of what I read and watch of theirs that I can absorb. And actually, talking to you guys opens up way, way, way more of my own personal knowledge because the way you guys present things is more broken down. Jack Queen says, if you think that's fucked up, there are invisible waves traveling through you right now that are also traveling through me at the same time, even in different countries. Quantum mechanics is amazing. Yeah, and so far above my pay grade. But agreed, so fucking fascinating. God damn. Neon, am I following the thing you asked? Like I say, Neon, it's just a I'll put it up once more. It's just Crowdcast. It's another streaming service, and so if you take this link, this is the link to my page there. You just follow me at that page, and you'll get notified whenever we do live streams there. Chrome says, any massive object distorts space-time. Excuse me, guys. The sun and Earth do. We thought we'd need a ship as big as Earth to do warp speed, but a new theory thinks it could be far smaller. Skyscraper, I think. Wow. Philip, I like that, Philip. I've heard that quote, and I love that quote. All I know is that I know nothing. From Socrates. I will say this. That is one thing I have learned in my lifetime. I don't even want to try and present to be smarter than I am because that's how you stop learning things. If I came in here today like, oh, this is my stream, so I got to be the authority, I wouldn't be picking up everything that I am picking up, learning from people like you who actually do have just hugely amounts more knowledge on the topic than I do. I mean, I honestly, that's why I get jacked up just from learning this shit. Arthur says, black holes, everyone die, releasing their contents in a giant explosion, meaning that form can't be maintained within a black hole. But if death is a constant, then even death must die eventually. That's interesting. Jack Queen says, seriously, quantum mechanics to me is real life magic. That's well put. It's bizarre and fascinating and terrifying and fantastic. That's well put, Jack. Yeah, that's really well put. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, God damn. The thing that's so stunningly fascinating is the dramatic depths of what we don't know. Lud says, on a slightly unrelated note, imagine falling into a black hole. That'd be slow and terrifying.
Yeah.
How quick would you actually be torn apart? Right, Lud, and from what I'm understanding, and this is just based on what you guys... Hey, Lud's chat boss. Just from what you guys have told me, this is not knowledge I had prior. So how long you would last in that black hole would depend on how big the black hole is, right? That's what I picked up today. The bigger it is, the longer you could survive in it, and then we would get that whole thing downward outline, like what you're seeing in front of you and behind. Oh man, it's amazing. Lauren says, Curtis, our new puppy was stolen on Sunday. We came home to a shattered window. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Lauren. That completely sucks. Aw. I'm really sorry to hear that. What the fuck is wrong with people? I mean, seriously. Taking somebody's pet of all things? Jesus Christ. Edgar says, what if you time travel back, but the only drawback is your consciousness gets put back into the current time version of yourself? All right, let me read that again. I want to make sure. What if you time travel back, but the only drawback is your consciousness gets put back into the current version of yourself? That'd be similar to some of what's going on in Steins Gate. Yeah. And how would you rectify that if your consciousness got put back into the current version of yourself? I mean, excuse me, sorry. Mentally, how would you even go about rectifying that, justifying that in your own mind, and coming to grips with it? Tui says, I think this universe exists within a level of its own infinity inside its own dimension. So reality to us exists within its own little bubble with a near infinite amount of possibilities. That's interesting. Exists within a level of its own infinity inside its own dimension. So that'd be similar, right, Tui? That'd be similar to what we're talking about with multiverse theory. You know, we're living our own reality and other universes are living theirs. That type of thing.
Oh,
I'm thinking it'd be similar to
yeah.
that. Warren says, what they didn't know, however, is the puppy does have a GPS chip in her collar, and my uncle is a cat. Oh, that's awesome, Warren. I hope they find the puppy and the person who took him, and yeah, a little justice gets doled out. That's perfect. I like that. Bliss says, how have you been? I've been very good, my friend. Thank you for asking. Big Green says, M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong plot twist. Yeah, definitely. Chrome says, I think the theory has something to do with creating a football-shaped field to create the
Oh,
warp field. For some
yeah.
reason, that drastically, theoretically reduces the size needed. The old idea was sphere. So football shape drastically reduces. Really? That's interesting. I wonder. I'm really curious as to why that is. Why the shape of the black hole would have that that dramatic effect on it. God damn, this is fun shit. Oh, Arthur says a black hole can't reach that size. It would release energy until it became a stable side again. Now that's way above my pay grade. Yeah, Philip says, I think my brain is starting to hurt. Oh, you're trailing behind a little, Philip. Mine started hurting a long time ago. It's a good pain, but it's definitely hurting. Goddamn, I love it. Yeah, go fuck them up indeed, Licks. Stealing somebody's pet of all things. Or just stealing in general, but. It's amazing. I mean, just doing this stream. I don't think we've ever had a stream where I find myself pausing just to try and get my thoughts collected as we go. Jack Queen says some infinites are longer than others. I don't know how else to put that other than one infinity can be bigger than the other. That's a mind bender in and of itself when you think about it, Jack. Well, Jack is thinking about it. That's why he's saying it's the only way you can think of to put it. Yeah, when you talk about an infinity, and yet we talk about it in kind of finite terms. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man, I love these mind benders. This football shaped like Arnold's head. I love that cartoon, brother E. Chippy Salt. Hey, good to see you again, pal. To quote Dr. Michio Kaku, we are in a bubble bath of universes. I could listen to that man for forever. We are in a bubble bath of universes. I like that. Wow. That's a good a good way to make it
Oh,
that thought
yeah.
attainable. Oh, Chippy Salt became the boss too. A bubble in a bubble bath of universes. That's really cool. I like that. I like that one a lot. I enjoy my chips very salty, Lick says. Oink says, the way I understand it, if you want something with mass to move, you need energy. If you have infinite energy, you move at the speed of light. That's why you can't go faster. That's interesting, Oink. Okay. If you want something with mass to move, you need energy. That makes sense, right? If you have infinite energy, you move at the speed of light. That's why you can't go faster with infinite energy. So it's just the speed that can't be overcome. Yeah, if we had that, when we do this stream, as long as the Crowdcast streams go okay, and we continue with those, that'll be interesting to see, because there's a bunch of you guys I would have liked to have. I would have liked to have been able to let you come onto the stream, and it's just like what happened with Downlord when he had to break it up into 3 posts. For any of you who have, because most everybody has some sort of microphone or something on their system. As long as you can come in, because I know a lot of people don't like to be on camera, and that's understandable. But I am remembering Crowdcast, right, guys? Didn't we used to do that when we do the Crowdcast streams before? You could bring people on with audio and video, or just audio. It does. You're Big Green says, "Ha, the donation amount kind of looks like it's spelling out ass. It does, Chippy Salts." Yes. And how great is it? That's a perfect observation, Big Green, that in this stream where we're talking about things this deep, that just goes to prove that I'm never not going to be 12, because that's really fucking funny to me right there. That Chippy Salts donation looks like ass. Yeah, I will. Chrome says, just make sure to post a comment on Patreon or Discord to let people know you're streaming. Yeah, I will, Chrome. I will. I'm going to try and have those set up a little in advance. You guys know I can't do much in advance because I never know what's going to happen in my house. But I'm going to try and have them set up a little in advance, and then go to, I will tell you guys at the Goosh. I will send out a notification here at YouTube. I'll try and remember to send one out. I think Twitter is almost redundant, though, because any of you that are following me on Twitter also follow either at the YouTube channel and or the Goosh as well. Tui says, also, it's theorized to go faster than light through the use of black matter and infinity. 0.01.0 goes on forever. Faster than light through the use of black matter and infinity.
Oh,
yeah, these are conversations like this. This is going to sound stupid. Well, not the first time it sounded stupid. It's going to sound stupid. This is one of the times that I actually lament a little bit that I'm an old fart. There's so much fascinating stuff that I think we are on the relative precipice of discovering, and that my personal timeline isn't going to allow me to be around for a lot of it. Seriously, I mean, I'm fat. There's so much of this. When we talk about all these things that we've discussed today, I want so bad to be able to be there to see some of the conclusions that are reached. Hey, Philip, thanks for the pussy pink sky. We got to say it twice now. We got a pussy pink sky. And Philip just bombed his way into chat boss. Philip says, I am the very model of a modern major general. I have information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the kings of England, and I quote the fights historical from Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical. How above my head this conversation is. Where is that quote from, Philip? I am the very model of a modern major general. I have information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the kings of England, and I quote the fights historical from Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical. How above? Wow, that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. You guys, that's another thing you guys are as a group are really good at too. When we get into these deep conversations, the quotes that you guys incorporate in have always been really good too. Brother, he says Spaz Boys comedy just became Spaz Boys astronomy. Everyone gets a college credit for participating. There you go. I got my professor. You got to recognize my Goosh credits, because you don't want to know what happens if you piss off the Goosh. Oink says most of these things are way too complicated to explain through text. Yeah, that's why we will, as long as things go well, I always have to put that caveat out there, but as long as everything goes well with the Crowdcast streams, we will take this topic up there. And that way, too, as people have a lot to say, I can get you to where I understand it. It's got to be frustrating as hell trying to plod your way through typing all this out. But again, thanks for the pussy pink sky, Philip. Jake says, we're sharing this moment at the same time, yet at the same time takes place at different points in our lives. I'm experiencing this right now. You're experiencing this 1,547 weeks in my future. Yeah, I see what you're saying. That's kind of an interesting thought, too. Yeah. In other words, I'm experiencing it with that X amount more life experience. Cool. Shiku says, recently I watched a film about what current science believes will happen at the end of the universe. It will eventually be an empty expanse devoid of light. with only black holes left as the theory. So black holes will eventually encompass all, Shiku? That's interesting. So if black holes encompass all, then there would be no coming back for this or any other universe, basically. It would finally be the ultimate silence. We should, before we talk about ultimate silence, we should really get Llamas with Hats' take on that. We should get Carl's view on that. Have you read any dark humor comics on the internet? They're so fucked up in a good way. Oh, dark. I think so. Perfect. So I think I've read some of what you're describing, not avidly, but I think I know what you're talking about. Put it that way. Downlord says, just so there's no expectation from me, my knowledge of this is very shallow and derived from random articles I've read and actually remember. Yeah, but I would disagree with you. I don't think your knowledge is shallow at all. It's certainly deeper than mine. And like you say, derived from random articles you've read. That's how you gain knowledge. I see what I really enjoy about discussing with you guys is. And that, tell me if I'm wrong, and this is kudos to all of you. Now, you guys have been in, we've been talking about this for over an hour here. Everybody here, and it's such a credit to the type of people you guys are. I don't know of any place where you could go and have a conversation like this without having people come in who are this is typical of the internet. They are going to be the ultimate authority. What I know all about it, what anyone else says is second rate now, and we have none of that here. Everybody presents what they know in a very likable, affable, and easy to accept manner, if I'm making any sense at all. And that says a lot, especially with the internet the way it is now. Arthur says black holes erode as well over a long time. I wasn't aware of that. Black holes actually break down? I didn't know that. Edgar says, there's got to be physical drawbacks that time travel might induce to the time traveler. I wonder what they can be. What do you think? I agree with you that there's got to be physical drawbacks. I would think. I don't. Well, the thing of it is, you would think if time travel to go back in time does require going through a wormhole, you would assume, the most obvious physical potential drawback is you would just get destroyed by the wormhole or crushed by it, right? That brings up that question that we touched on once before. If scientists felt that they felt strongly that they had created a quality black hole, wormhole, whatever, that would allow you to go back in time, and they needed a person to try it out, would you be the person to do it? Say they're going to say, we're going to send somebody back 5 years, as I said before, 5 years, 10 years in time. And as was pointed out to me, you wouldn't need to come back. It was stupid. I said, well, and then you got to return. But no, then you would live that timeline from that point on. Would you do it? At my age now, again, as I said, hey, Roman, at my age, with having accomplished what I want as far as my children being in a good place and everything, yeah, I'd be tempted to give that shit a try. Brother E says we should have group voice chat streams for open discussion. That way thoughts can be expressed quicker and the conversation can be more engaged. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Brother E. That's exactly what I'm talking about with the crowdcast ones. Because what we'll do is we'll get into the conversation, and when people feel that they have, as a lot of people have here, that they have specific things to offer, because again, we have a group here that is well aware of where their knowledge is strong and well aware where their knowledge isn't as strong. So we'll let the people who do have knowledge on a specific topic where that's their strength of knowledge, yes, be part of the conversation. Absolutely. Chiku says it's not that black holes become everything. They'll be scattered just as they are now, just with nothing else in the universe, just an empty plane with scattered black holes. That's it's kind of both terrifying and almost romantic to think about. that is where it all ends. Steve says, if black holes take over the collide, all disappear. Surely, which will come full circle. I don't know. I don't know if that's. And Steve also said, "I'd love to piss into a black hole." Jacqueline says we would have to limit the people who would we let in. I only know some names that aren't you guys. Well, that's the thing, and the cool thing about it is, Jacqueline, if we make a mistake in the crowdcast ones, I let in somebody who's obviously not conducting themselves in the way we want. It's simple enough. You guys know me. I have no problem with just ditching somebody, telling them, if you're gonna be a dick, you gotta get out. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, Lute says I'd rather we just have text chats without character limit. I don't know if there's. You guys have to tell me on that. A crowdcast, I don't know if there are character limits or not, Lute. I don't remember. I don't remember. Well, we think that the Chrome. We think at that point, when the universe is only black holes, the universe could eventually cause a new Big Bang, could it? Against that backdrop, then, start this shit again. The thing is, if that happens, I hope at some point we all end up right back here having the same conversation. Who knows? Maybe we've had it before. Dom dom dom. There's no character limit on Crowdcast. Oh, okay, good, Brother East. Brother East says there isn't one, so that's good. Chrome says not related, but just wondering for next month, is Rising of the Shield Hero anywhere near your radar for the $1 level? Not off the top of my head, Chrome, but I haven't really put together the list yet, because now with the conversation we had the other day at the Goosh, we are going to continue. We're going to do Steins Gate and then Steins Gate 0, so I've got a little more time before I'm going to be setting up a new one. So I haven't, I don't, like I say, to be honest with you, I don't have it currently on the radar, but once I start collecting information about which anime fit it could be. Philip says, to answer your question from earlier, Curtis, the quote comes from a Gilbert and Sullivan play Pirates of the Penzance. I knew I'd heard it before. I haven't seen that play, but I knew I know of it. I knew I'd heard that. It's about an overeducated, incompetent, upper-class military officer. Boy, I haven't even heard of Pirates of Penzance mentioned in ages, Philip. I think, no, maybe they went to it. I was going to say, at some point in my school career, and I mean, I was like maybe middle school, I was going to say they did a production of it, but I don't think it was a production. It was a trip to Pirates of Penzance or something like that. I just remember, and I didn't even go. I just remember at some point, that's what it was. Some group I was involved with, maybe it wasn't even school, but some group I was involved with did a trip to a Pirates of Penzance, so everybody was talking about it. And I knew I'd heard that quote before, but I couldn't place it. That's cool. That's really cool. Steve says, maybe if this all happens again in 1 billion years' time, you'll be good at Call of Duty and your new life and maybe pigs will fly. Oh, wouldn't that be cool if we come back and we're having this conversation? But as I'm having the conversation, I'm so good at Call of Duty. I've got that playing, over here while I'm having this conversation over there, and I'm running roughshod over everybody. Downward says the theoretical opposite of a black hole is a white hole. Whereas nothing can escape from a black hole, nothing can enter a white one, as it repels instead of absorbs. All theoretical, of course. Wow. Wow, that's kind of cool. So a white hole is just kind of taking up space, literally. Chrome says, in one reality, maybe Golden is the real person and Curtis is just a character in his head. Yeah, that's it. That would be it's not this reality. It's definitely a different one. Chrome said, just want to know since I'm thinking about what sponsor next month. Oh, okay, Chrome. Yeah, like I say, as of right now, it's not one of the front runners, but what I have a whole little process I go through myself because I look back on things we've discussed, because all the $1 level comes from conversations with you guys, and the strongest factor to get you considered is that it's been mentioned a lot, and I've seen that mentioned. And then we go to length and how it fits in with what we're doing and all that stuff. So as of right now, I would say it's got an outsider's chance. There are others that I've been thinking of more recently for that spot. Jake says, have you heard Chris Cornell's posthumous cover of GNR's Patience? No. In the video, they did a quote, "A man only dies when he is forgotten," which is so One Piece. Yeah, that's for sure. No, I haven't heard that. The cover of a cover of Patience, I haven't heard that. I love that song, Jake. No, I have not heard that. It takes as much time to do that level of control as Streamless. Oh, I didn't see Lose. Obviously, that's a conversation I missed out on, so I don't know what the conversation is. Daniel says, I was wondering, Chris, have you a chance watched any One Piece? If not, so would you be up to watching some? Yeah, as a matter of fact, Daniel, I think today I just watched episode 545 to be exact. Wolverine says, check last post. Where are you, Wolverine? Unrelated question. Do you consider information released in data books as spoilers in regards to arcs you finished? In data books as spoilers in regards to arcs you finished. I generally just try and stay away from that stuff, Wolverine. Only because you can't really make a definitive as to whether or not I consider it as spoilers. It depends on what type of information it is. So typically what I do is any series that I'm not completely done with, I try and stay away from any extraneous information about. That's just because I made mistakes before and found out information on series I was watching that I really didn't want to have. Brother, he says, it's also about getting into the habit. For now, it's just thought, nothing set in stone. But if it were to happen, I'm sure you guys can come up with a proper system to verify who's able to join chats. I assume you guys are talking about are you talking about Crowdcast chats? Yeah, I'll probably play those by ears as we go. We'll start with nobody in with me, and as people have a lot that they want to share, I'll bring people on board. And again, if it doesn't work out, or if somebody I don't think typically with you guys it's going to be an issue, but if somebody isn't conducting themselves in the way that I think people should be conducting themselves, they'll just be sent back. They'll be muted. Would you be a skinny black man or still a fat white man having this conversation after humanity ends and restarts again? Probably some combination of all of the above. Perfect or sell. As long as we're having this conversation, I don't care. I'm open to any race. I kind of like being a dude, even though I'm barely a dude. I mean, it's this big, but I kind of like being a dude. But if I got to switch gender, I'll do what I have to do. But if I came back as a chick, I would hope that I had hot tits, and then I would just keep them out in all the streams, because we all know, any of us who have ever been on Twitch streams know that's how you attract a lot of people to come in and chat with you, is having tits. So medium build brown guy, yeah, Philip, right in the middle there somewhere. If the universe is an infinite cycle of death and rebirth, Chrome says, the end causing a new Big Bang, is the new universe identical to the last or different even if it's a small amount? Okay, if the universe is an infinite cycle of death and rebirth, the end causing a new Big Bang, is the new universe identical to the last or different even if it's a small amount? I would think it'd be... Even if it's an infinite cycle, that you would think within that infinite cycle, it would still allow for differences, wouldn't it? I would think, Chrome. I would think so. A chubby gray person, Perfect Yourself says. Call me Chubby Gray. That could be my rapper name. You really think Supreme Overlord Susan would allow that? Well, yeah, it's true. All of these conversations we're having may be truly for naught, because Susan probably is in charge of everything. And by everything, I mean everything already. And she is the Supreme Overlord, and we just haven't come to that total realization. Although most of us here are pretty much aware. Guys, I got to hang up the stream. This has been a fantastic stream. We're, again, we will revisit this in these streams, because I enjoy these conversations, but we will revisit in Crowdcast too. where I can get you guys
Oh,
in so you can speak and not
yeah.
have to type everything out. Daniel says, I've been watching you for a while, and I got to say I love your content. Keep up the good work, brother. Well, thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. That's a great way. I apologize for you just coming into the stream and it's ending, but that's a great way to end the stream. That I appreciate when you guys say things like that. It does. It makes me feel good to know that whether it's the videos or the live streams or whatever it is, that it's fun for you guys, because that's what it is for me. I mean, it's it's my being. Outside of my family, there is nothing more important to me than the Goosh and Spaz White's comedy. That's why I have to bend the knee to Susan. You know, I with her seemingly arbitrary rules and stuff, because as much as I'm the type that likes to fight back and say fuck you, I'll do what I want, this is all way too important to me to risk not even losing it, but having it taken away from me, you know, the ability to stream or whatever for a period of time. So, well, welcome aboard, Daniel. I appreciate that. But guys, thank you so much for this stream. And today's sticky stuff, as you can well imagine, today's sticky stuff is from another dimension. Interdimensional sticky stuff today. I did have to talk about Ben Nee. I had to do, because Susan is the great overlord of the entirety of what we know, and I had to do more than get on a knee. I don't want to tell you guys what I had to do to get it, but she hooked me up with some interdimensional sticky stuff. So it's really special. Make sure, again, the trademark, the trademark Goosh sticky stuff fanny packs. Make sure you got that on, because I don't know when I'm going to be able to get some of this interdimensional stuff again, because I don't want to have to do to Susan what I had to do this last time. I'm hoping that time travel is real so I can go back and forget about that at some point. But here it comes. Interdimensional sticky stuff straight from Susan, straight from me via Susan, doing something I just so regret. Hold on. Coronation trap card, Downlord says. Even
Oh,
mentioning traps is traumatic to me
yeah.
now, Downlord, because I get trapped so often. But here it is, your interdimensional sticky stuff for you, for everybody. Pack a little away. If anybody that you know of wasn't able to make it today, don't give any of the train. Fuck the train. This stuff is way too valuable. Interdimensional sticky stuff for all of you. Thank you guys for this conversation. It was a lot of fun. We'll be back with more topics like this. I enjoy this a lot. I gotta go rest my head though, because well, bang, okay, flashly like buggy, and as always, most importantly, and yeah, even a headache ain't gonna stop this. Goosh, 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 goosh. Goosh.